Jazz battle the final moments of this one and fall short against the Sacramento Kings. Final score, 105-104. But this is something we didn't say all last year. The defense carried the night. We're talking about it next on POSTCAST. David Locke, along with Ron Boone, I'm going to need your help in the comment sections. We're setting up a little technically differently in the new system, and we didn't wire it like we usually do. So let me know if you can hear Ron, if you can hear me. I'll try to adjust as the show goes on in that regard. So please let me know how we sound. Ron, give me an update on your thoughts and your feeling on the night in a 105-104 loss by the Jazz. Final rebound of the night. The Jazz couldn't corral it. Sabonis does, but big picture me before we dig into that.
What I'm going to give you here, David, is from a coach's standpoint. Obviously, they're very disappointed in the loss, but they're very pleased with the way they stayed in the basketball game, made big shots, made some defensive plays there, made some mistakes, true enough. But I think for the most part, coaches might not tell the players that, but I'll tell you, when they're talking among themselves, they're going to think, yes, they're pleased with the game.
The big picture standpoint on this game to me is, if you were wondering what you're getting from the Utah Jazz this year, that it's become clear you're getting effort, you're getting fight, you're getting a battle, you're getting preparation, you're playing to win. That is abundantly clear now.
Well, without a doubt, this team is playing hard. Sure enough, we've only had a 2-game sample size here, but we've seen both sides of it. Having to really dig in and play very, very hard tonight, and gave themselves a chance to win. Whereas against the Clippers, it was, they executed well and hit them in the mouth real fast, and it was an easy victory for them. This ball game tonight, I thought will carry them a long ways.
All right, let's go through the final 2 plays. They weren't executed well. I think it's a positive night all around, but you lose a game. This is what we're going to look at. So let's go. The defense was really, really good on the final play, but the offensive ring gets batted out. Or Levine drives. The defense is perfect. Levine gets himself in trouble, throws it to the backcourt. Jazz, that's really hard. Now the Jazz are scrambling, but they're back defensively. Shot goes up, misses. Sabonis, who's the leading rebounder in the NBA for 3 years in a row, grabs the rebound. It was in Kessler's hands, kind of gets knocked out. I don't know what happened. He kind of got pushed underneath a little bit, maybe. I don't know. And Sabonis goes back up and in for the bucket and the foul. Thoughts on that one rebound? You can really microanalyze one play here, but one rebound.
Yeah, that rebound, and I thought it was DeRozan, because Kessler was just about to grab the rebound. DeRozan hits the arm there of Kessler to the point where he could not get control of it. And then, Sabonis is a battler in the paint. He's very good at finishing around the rim without jumping, because he uses his body very, very well, and he quickly gets the rebound and puts it back in the basket. But I totally agree, David.
I did that.
That deflection that goes back in the backcourt probably gave them a chance to score on that play. Now, as you mentioned, the team is scrambling, and they're in the position to get the offensive rebound.
All right, let's look at that final inbound play as well. We actually have some advanced technology now so that we can look at it as well. Ron, Filipowski gets the ball. The play starts. It looks like Sensabaugh and Keontae are both curling toward the inbound, toward Markkanen, off a Markkanen pick. And clear that Sensabaugh is not really the first option, because he just kind of continues on the route. Then Keontae comes through, and it just gets all jumbled. Markkanen leaves the pick. There's too many guys around, and then Keontae has to go one-on-one. He throws up an air ball. It just got all convoluted and jumbled up, and there really wasn't anything there.
If you get a chance to look at that again, the play, I think, was going to be designed. Who's the second cutter here coming around? No, the second guy. Is that Sensabaugh? There goes first. One, and then – but see, everyone's on this side of the floor. See how crowded it is right there? And so something went wrong as far as what the play is supposed to be. Maybe it was that second cutter. They send the guy through, then that second cutter may have been meant for the, maybe for the shot or get the basketball.
I've got your guys' note that I sound like I'm in a tin can. Ron's more important anyway, so we're going to roll with it. I don't know. I might be being picked up on Ron's mic, but we're going to keep rolling so you at least get this tonight and get the breakdown on it. All right, let's go big picture. Sacramento is a pretty good offensive team. They were a top 10, top 12 offensive team all year long. Jazz kept them to about a point of possession defensive rating all year, which would have been one of their best performances all year. And the final numbers on this, when the offense is kind of lit up a little bit late, but not a lot, the final number on it is Sacramento's offensive rating was a 106. Offensive rating league average is a 115. So the Jazz took an offense that has a bunch of all-stars. It's built entirely offensively and really kept them well below league average offensively, 10 points per 100 possessions. That's a great offensive night. What did the Jazz do so well defensively tonight?
Well, they're getting a little more physical, and I think size really matters against what the Jazz are using out there on the floor. Filipowski, getting in the starting lineup, he's a 7-footer. But defensively, with DeRozan and Levine, I mean, they can take it to any team in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, they closed the game tonight. They have Sabonis, who's a multi-time All-Star. Levine, who's a multi-time All-Star. They have DeRozan, who's a 6-time All-Star. It was kind of amazing the years of experience that Sacramento had compared to the Jazz late in the ballgame. The rim defense is what Will Hardy has talked to us about the whole time, Ron, that he wants the Utah Jazz to defend the rim better. Sacramento only had 13 shots all night at the rim, which is a really low number. Teams want to be around 30% of their shots at the rim. They were at 20%. They did have, actually, according to official numbers, 10 of their 13 in the second half. So they really committed to starting playing Sabonis in the post and doing some things. But the Jazz have gone through training camp, and they have built themselves a new defense after being one of the worst defenses in the league for the last 2 years. And it is predicated on not allowing you to get to the rim. And it's predicated on our big guys willing to be physical and take hits to cut guys off at the rim.
Yeah, and just not letting guys get a chance to drive all the way to the basket. The Kings had 36 points in the paint. Now, some of that had to do with their fast break points, and very few fast break points here for the Kings, only 6 of those. So that's a plus as far as the Jazz is concerned. But 36 points in the paint, that's pretty low.
Well, the Jazz, by the way, play Phoenix on Monday and then Portland on Wednesday. Phoenix will be coming in sour because the Jazz got the Clippers pissed. And the Clippers are up 112-85 on Phoenix. All right, the other storyline tonight, the Jazz starters were good. The bench was not. Walt Clayton and Bryce Sensabaugh ended up closing the game. But really, let's talk about the 5th pick of the draft. Everyone wants to know about him all the time. We've seen the youth. We kind of knew this was coming. Preseason's one thing. He got the flu. He's lost his rhythm a little bit. But Ace Bailey had a really rough night.
Yeah, he's got probably a lot to learn. And I think the physicality of this game, he's going to have to really make those adjustments on how to play it and how to deal with it. We kind of knew that. We very impressed with his ability to play the game and his length. But sometimes you just get overwhelmed with how good other guys are right now.
The other rookie's really impressing you, though.
Yes, he is, and he rebounds. He's very much under control and doesn't force shots or anything like that. But I just think that his growth is going to continue. They finished the ball game with him on the lineup on the floor.
Yep.
So
really very telling. The closing lineup tonight, I believe, was Kessler. Well, I got 6 guys in my head, so there's something wrong. But it was Clayton, George, Sensabaugh, Filipowski, Markkanen.
Markkanen,
so
yes.
Maybe Kessler on the offensive end was not finishing, or they made some substitutions.
They made substitutions, yeah.
6 guys. Kessler was clearly on the floor on the last defensive play.
Yeah.
What was the cricket box score tonight? I'm going to look at this every night on Clayton because this is what makes him special. 5 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal. He's just got a crooked box score every night. He just puts in a lot of different things in every regard. Walker had 6 turnovers tonight.
Most of those came in the first half, too.
And they're asking him to do a lot. Like, does that bother you? Or do you say, hey, this is part of the process that if we're going to put the ball in your hands, you're going to make mistakes and turn the ball over?
You're talking about Walker Kessler, which means that, no, it doesn't. They're going to have to trust him.
Okay.
They're going to have to, he's going to have to get better in physical basketball games. I mean, they're going to take away stuff from you from game to game. The next game against Phoenix, it might be a little bit different, and he might surge, but you got to be ready.
Tyler Takes is wondering why Hendricks didn't play much in the second half. I mean, it's clear Taylor Hendricks has missed. Like, this is one of these interesting things where we get some access to the coaches and things like that. And, I'm seeing a lot of the same things you do in preseason. He's playing so great. And then Filipowski gets healthy, goes to the starting lineup, and you're like kind of asking around. And the answer, he's missed a year of basketball, David.
Yeah.
Like he missed, and it's
he's a year behind, without a doubt.
And that's clear. And so you've just got to let Taylor have some time to get ready. And he was not particularly good tonight. Just to be perfectly honest. And that's fine. Like, we have young players who I think we have to do two things about tonight, this season, which is, one is we got to be honest when they're not very good. But we also have to be totally accepting and supportive of that fact. Because there are not players who are in their first, second, third, and fourth years in the league who are good every night.
Yeah. And if you start looking at the draft picks, probably this early is probably not a good sample size on the adjustments that you have to make from college to the pros. But, you're 10, 15, 20 games into the season, then you start looking at that. But, I'm still pleased with, they gave themselves a chance to win.
Things that impressed me the most tonight, overall defensive effort to stay in the game while the offense was bad. I think that's really impressive. Most teams, particularly if they're not playing well offensively, they fade defensively. 2, I don't think Sacramento ever had a really mammoth run in this game. That's 2 games in a row.
Well, just the one when Monk was
hit a few threes. But I think
those threes. That's exactly right. You did answer.
I don't think they ever had bigger than a 7-0 run tonight. That's 2 nights in a row where the opponent has not gone on a run against you. That was always a huge problem last year.
The biggest lead, both teams, 8 points.
That 11 lead changes, 12 ties, and just. Frankly, we just didn't grab one rebound late, or we didn't get one call late from Lowry, where Lowry got fouled. So that's a pretty strong night all the way around. All right, Jazz notes tonight, Ron Boone.
Well, boy.
You're not in the habit of – usually you come with your – you forgot.
Lowry, and, Lowry had a great game. Keontae just seems to impress me every night. And, boy.
I'm going to give Filipowski a little love. He was plus 19 when he was on the floor tonight. Is that all right?
That's a good one. Yeah, let's do it.
And what about Walter?
Kessler?
Jr.
Oh, Clayton. Yes. I tell you, in 20 minutes to play, then 4 for 7, 3 assists, 5 rebounds. Absolutely. I like him.
All right. Those are the Jazz notes tonight. Lacey will keep track of that. You're allowed to make a spreadsheet. We'll work on what's going on with Fire TV for you, Lacey, and see what's up with that. Thank you very much to all of you. This has been POSTCAST. Have a great weekend. We'll be back with you Monday. Tickets are available at utahjazz.com.